You're listening to the Served Up Show, a podcast that features inspiring beverage professionals and topic experts that share their passions through meaningful content. Your hostesses, Bridget Albert, is best known as the Market Fresh Mixologist, an industry mentor with over 25 years of experience. And I'm Julie Milroy, best known for my passion for leading change and helping others grow in their careers. Grab a cocktail and sit back. Let's learn how we can make a positive impact in our industry.
Hey y'all, it's Bridget here. We are thrilled to highlight the amazing, diverse, and women-owned wine and spirits brand that were featured at the recent WSWA Access Live. These brands are breaking barriers and creating some of the most exciting and unique products on the market. Not only are these brands offering exceptional quality and taste, but they're also leading the way in promoting inclusivity. By highlighting these changemakers, we hope to inspire and empower all of those who are passionate about wine and spirits. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be amazed by the talent, innovation, and creativity of these diverse and women-owned brands. Let's dive in.
Hello, Served Up friends. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend, Anita Parikh, co-founder of Tigo Tequila Soda. Prior to co-founding Tigo, she was on the founding team at Chief, the private members club for female executives, and an early employee at Casper, the mattress company. Anita shares her journey of creating the first ultra premium reposado tequila and soda with a splash of fresh juice. Now sit back, grab your favorite Tigo tequila soda, and get inspired. Anita, thank you so much for joining us on Served Up.
Thanks so much for having me. So thrilled to be here.
We are so honored to have you on the episode today, and we would love for our listeners to know about your journey into the beverage industry. So can you tell us how you got started?
Sure. So Tigo is my first foray into the wine and spirits industry. So very, very new to this. We got our start during COVID lockdown. As you all probably remember, the seltzers were exploding. There was a new brand, I feel like, every single week. And we were making cocktails at home during lockdown. And our drink of choice of my friend group was Spindrift. Like if you compare a Spindrift and a LaCroix or another sparkling water, like Spindrift, I feel like is just the absolute best. It's so fresh. And then Casamigos Reposado. So mixing those, that was our drink. So we thought, why isn't anyone put something more premium like this in a can? I would drink that all day long. So that took our journey to Mexico. We moved to Guadalajara for a few months on the search to see if we could make something like that. And we sourced and made our own tequila, Reposado. We absolutely fell in love with this one blend at this tequilera in Jalisco. And then we sourced fruits up and down the coast of Mexico. And that's when Tigo was born. So it really is our dream concoction in a can with a shelf life that really makes it conducive to retail. And we launched officially in June of 2022, and we have been off to the races ever since.
I love that. And you mentioned your friends, and just because I've become a friend, so I know a little bit about your story. Tell us a little bit about, what you were doing prior to this idea, because you were definitely in new ventures with all different kinds of stuff. So tell us a little bit about what was the life before that put you in a position to say, okay, we can go move to Guadalajara and like make this happen. Because a lot of people might not have that confidence or that willingness to just jump into a new venture. So give us a little bit of background there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been in the startup space for quite some time. I was an early employee at two startups that got pretty large, one being Casper, the mattress company, and actually led their retail expansion into brick and mortar there. And that's where I really did recognize how much I love the retail space. And then after that, I went to Chief, which is the largest private members club for female executives, which is where Julie and I were able to meet and we became close friends. And both of those journeys, they were obviously very different. But I just learned so much about what a business looks like from inception to like quick expansion and what it really takes from the founder journey. And I think that after doing that twice, I was like, okay, I definitely want to do this on my own next. I feel very, very ready. The other thing is coming from this pretty digitally native space. I think I got a bit jaded over time, just seeing how many dollars you had to spend online to acquire a customer, how heavily VC backed and a cash burn. A lot of these different startups in the New York ecosystem where I was living were. And so this space of wine and spirits still being very much like sold on premise in liquor stores. There was this hustle culture that I was seeing. And I was like, this feels really interesting and very attractive to me. I think it's a lot harder of an industry to break into, but I do love that it's still very much of an omni-channel of, in person, online, building a community that is organic and building a lot of brand love. So yeah, this is our first foray, but so far we're absolutely loving it. And we're just so thrilled at the amount of camaraderie in the space, the mentors like yourself that we found along the way, and I'm really excited to get more deeply entrenched.
You just talked very briefly about how hard it is to break into the beverage industry. Can you talk about, some of the things that you have learned along the way that you wish you would have known at the very start of your journey?
I think that a big realization for us has been just how relationship driven this space is. So many brand owners have been in the industry forever and they launch their products to market and immediately have connections to so many amazing on-premise accounts. They've been boots on the ground forever, and that's just not something that we'll be able to overcome. But at the same time, I do think that we have an advantage in that, we don't really have any expectations. Like we came in knowing that it was going to be hard and we're very ready to hustle. Like every single weekend, we've been doing samplings, meeting customers. Any day we aren't doing that, we feel like was a missed opportunity because we know that we're kind of behind the curve, just being so new to the space. The other thing is, I was new to this industry. I didn't realize just the ins and outs of distribution and how critical that is to success and partnering with the right distributors, being able to provide resources to them to be able to succeed and just getting picked up by a distributor just because you have a product that you think is amazing. It's not that easy. So, we're in this period right now where we're showing, we want to be able to show enough traction to be able to land a distributor in the markets we want to be in and be able to be in a position where we can come to an agreement that really benefits both sides. So we're trying to really get into as many doors as possible, have great sell-in and amazing sell-through, and really show those numbers.
I love that, Anita. And I think, we're in a startup generation, right? So many different startups, so much funding out there. And one of, I think, the biggest challenges with a lot of spirit owners, especially diverse and women owned, is how do you get the funding? What was that journey like for you? Because you obviously need funding in order to produce product and then to scale. What was your journey like for you and your partners to create Tigo? And what is some suggestions and advice that you would give others as they start this journey and access that available funding that's out there?
That's a great question. So to date, we've bootstrapped it, but also did a small friends and family round. And in that, it's been great because we've been raising from people that know us, that we've had relationships with, that we have a track record with. So our experiences have been able to speak for themselves. So that wasn't so challenging. The next step, which we will have to further fund the brand, is going to definitely be more challenging. I know I've seen the data over the years of female founders receiving funding in the space and just how challenging it is. And knowing that it's going to be people I don't have relationships with and having to convince them to take a chance on me, I know it's going to be an uphill battle. So we'll see how that goes. I do think, though, I'm just grateful that we've had enough capital to get to this point so that our business and our numbers can speak for themselves in that funding journey. The second part to that is we wanted to just grow very slowly and thoughtfully to an extent that we can really support the business. So right now we're in 3 states. We are in New York, Michigan, and Florida. We have gotten opportunities to expand further to more states. We've put that on hold for now. We really want to just create hubs and strong communities and deeply penetrate where we are with the capital that we have and not expand quicker than we can reasonably support.
Yeah, makes sense. Can you tell us a bit about your experience here at WSWA and really winning the battle of the spirits? And, I know you're going into the second final round this evening. Can you tell us what that process has been like for you?
I am just so amazed by the energy and the camaraderie, like I said, in this industry. Like how excited people are to try and welcome these new brands. And it's just been amazing. And so for that first round, we were with a lot of fellow founders. Everyone was so supportive of each other and very excited to learn about each other's products, which was so cool. And then the judges were all industry veterans, executives at different retailers that we would just dream to get in front of. So being able to be in front of them all at one time and seeing our product in their hand was just so cool for us, being so new. We've been on the market for 7 months, and that was just a dream. We were absolutely shocked when we won. We won Best New RTD Seltzer. Such a crowded space.
Huge.
We were absolutely floored by that. And I think that, the product does really speak for itself. Like we took a really long time to make Tigo. We got to market a lot later than we would have liked. It took like a year of different iterations of the formula and then just getting approved by the CRT, which is the regulatory body of tequila in Mexico. That took another 8-ish months. So then we were a bit dissuaded by how long it had taken. Now, though, when we are able to see people's reception of the product when they try it, we're really happy that we took our time in formulating the product. And then the other thing with Battle of the Brands was, they asked tough questions. It was not just like high level. And I think as a new brand, you're just so used to leading by brand. And this was very much like, what is your go-to-market strategy? Like, how are you going to support this monetarily in marketing and sales? One of the judges actually asked us a question that really tripped us up. And he was like, there's really large seltzer brands that are spending $8 million for posts by Dave Portnoy and Barstool. How are you going to compete with those? And we got really flustered in the competition. This is also why I did not think that we were going to win. And we said, like, we can't compete with that. Our strategy has to be differentiated as a new brand. So and we have the main competition today, which is going to be all the category winners going up against each other on a very intimidating large stage, but we're really excited about it.
So speaking of competing with different brands and then wanting to know your go-to-market strategy, not to give you a hint as you go to your final brand battle, but there is something different that Tigo does that no other brand I haven't seen another brand do this, but you really come into the market in a different way, which is, again, why we want to promote diverse brands, because with diversity comes innovation. And you guys are doing something very innovative as it relates to music, which really brings people together. Tell us a little bit about the innovative way that Tigo goes to market that's different from other brands.
So as I said before, community is really central to our strategy. And previous to this, I was leading community at the largest female network. And what had been central to that strategy was creating micro communities in each city that club was present. and really investing in that community and building brand love in each micro market. And that is absolutely the playbook here as well. So our launch market has been Miami, and we are really proud of the community that we've built in Miami. So we really leaned into the music scene. Like you said, that is what we find to be the best, most organic, most powerful way to bring people together. We actually have a Tigo house that we live in full time with a few others. We have been activating it around the clock every night. We've been throwing concerts. We've been supporting diverse artists. We've been also leaning into the Miami music festival scene, which has been amazing, and sponsoring all of those activations. We also have QR codes on the cans that you can scan for the playlist that we play at these parties or that these artists record. So music really has been this through line through the brand that's really brought people together. So with that, we do want that to translate to the other markets that we're in. We'll be looking to do activations anywhere we launch. And then we've also taken this abroad. So we did this in 2 tests, but we did these party weekends where we rented a house and we had DJs perform, and we had friends and friends of friends come out to these international locations for a party. And the number of impressions we had on social from these parties absolutely blew our minds. And this was owned content. So in this world of paid media, we were like, this is something different. Like, we can just do this on repeat, have so much fun building this brand. We'll own this evergreen content, and we're building this like beautiful organic community around music. So we're hoping that that playbook can scale and follow as Tigo grows.
Love it. Love that. What does Tigo mean, and how did it get its name?
So Tigo, we got from the word contigo, and all our cans say siempre contigo, which is always with you. And the Mexican roots are really they're a big part of the brand. So we wanted to create a really authentic product. Something that's been a bit frustrating for us is that there's so many products that say real tequila or premium tequila, and they're actually not real tequila. They're not made in Mexico. They're not 100% blue agave. And we have taken time to source this product, get it fully approved by the CRT, which you have to do for 100% blue agave. And we even use, most of our corporate employees are based in Mexico. We have our marketing agency, all our content, it's shot down there. So it really is, we want to make it as authentic as possible and central to the brand. So Contigo is on the cans. I think in the future, we also plan to launch in other international markets in LATAM, and we'll be doing branding on the cans to have them fully in Spanish and reflect that.
I love that. Contigo. Everywhere you go, you bring Tigo.
I love it. Exactly.
Thank you, Anita. What a great story. And I think, you'll really inspire our listeners, for those that have really thought about starting their own brand and really getting into the space because they're so passionate in one way or another. I think it's such a broad space when it involves hospitality. And I think you going out there and just doing it is going to inspire so many of our listeners. So thank you for paving the way.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking some time with us here on Served Up. It's been such a pleasure having you. We want to wish you all the best and just so much success that we know that is ahead of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And of course, we want to wish you some great health and a lot of peace. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Served Up is brought to you by Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits. Produced by Zunu.online. Music by We Killed the Lion can be found on Spotify. Make sure to subscribe to be notified of future Served Up episodes. Cheers!